The Congress of the United States has many powers. There are two types of powers, express and implied powers. Express powers, also known as enumerated powers, are powers that are explicitly written in the Constitution. Implied powers are powers that can be reasonably deducted from the express powers. The source of all implied powers is the Elastic Clause of the Constitution. This clause states that Congress has the power to create laws that are necessary and proper for carrying out the express powers of Congress. This means that all implied powers of Congress are associated with an express power of Congress. The first express power of Congress is to lay and collect taxes. This means that the Congress is the only body in the federal government that can tax the people of the United States. This power gives Congress the implied powers of punishing tax evaders, requiring states to meet conditions in order to get federal funding, and regulating and outlawing things like alcohol and narcotics. The second express power of Congress is to borrow money on the credit of the United States. There are no limitations on how much Congress can borrow or why they are borrowing. This power gives Congress the implied power of establishing a Federal Reserve System of banks. The third express power of Congress is to regulate interstate commerce. Interstate commerce consists of commerce with foreign nations, among states, and with Native American tribes. This power gives Congress the implied powers of regulating banking and protecting the disabled by passing laws, banning discrimination in both public facilities and the workplace, and creating a minimum wage.
The fourth express power of Congress is to raise an army and navy, declare war, and make rules that govern the military of the United States. This power gives Congress the implied power of drafting Americans into the military. The fifth express power of Congress is to create tribunals that are inferior to the Supreme Court of the United States. This means that Congress can decide the types, jurisdictions, and sizes of the lower courts. This is the greatest power that one branch of the federal government has over another. The sixth express power of Congress is to create naturalization or immigration laws. This power gives Congress the implied power of regulating and limiting immigration by setting quotas. The seventh express power of Congress is to establish post offices and post roads. This power gives Congress the implied powers of barring the shipping of certain items through the mail and prohibiting mail fraud and obstruction. One non-legislative power of Congress is the power to impeach. The House of Representatives is able to declare impeachment. The Senate is able to convict and remove those being impeached. Then, the Chief Justice presides over the impeachment trial. Another non-legislative power of Congress is to propose constitutional amendments. In order for these amendments to be sent to the states for ratification, 2/3 majority of both houses must approve of the amendment. The last important power of Congress is the power to investigate. This gives Congress legislative oversight, which is the power to oversee the way that laws are being carried out. An example of this is the Watergate scandal. And those are all the powers of Congress. Thanks for watching.
You ruined it. Hey.